listening to Proof Text, a Glossa House podcast by Dr. T. Michael W. Halcomb, Dr. Fredrick J. Long, Dr. Mario Melendez, Dr. Jennifer Noonan, and J. M. Smith. Welcome and enjoy.
Welcome back to Constituent Marking with Fred Long on Proof Text, and I am Fred Long. We're looking at 1 Corinthians 12. We're getting towards the end of the chapter, and Paul's argument has taken a rather interesting turn. He is talking about honorable versus immodest versus presentable body parts, and it's rather intriguing how he's going about doing it. And so I'm going to read the Greek text and mark it up, and I hope those of you who might be listening can still benefit from that, even though you can't see what I'm doing. Tade eskemona emon u krian ehi. De. So we have a de. I put a box around that. Marks new or distinctive development. So we've been seeing in verse 23 the use of ke to kind of connect sentences together. And now we have a de, which is marking distinctiveness. So something kind of distinctive that's being added in at this point that is not marking continuity or at least, some kind of immediate continuity, adding it in to the mental representation. So there's something distinct that is developed in this particular point. Ta es evskemona is single underlined, neuter plural, with the amon being a genitive with an arrow back to what it possesses, our. So it's our honorable parts, or actually presentable parts. So our presentable parts, u krian ehi. So u is an adverb, negative adverb, meaning no or not. It's put usually right in front of what it negates. And that's what we see here. It's negating krian, which means need. And then we have the verb ehi. Ehi, which is from echo. Third, this is present active indicative. Third singular, has no need. So it's a third singular verb working with a neuter nominative plural subject. And so that plural neuter subject working with third singular verbs, we've been seeing that a lot. This is just an idiom. It's like conventional in Greek that you can have plural subjects with third singular verbs when they're neuter. The subjects are neuter. So our well-presentable things have no need. Will have no need of what? We have to think about that. What do they not have need of? Well, if we go back to the previous verse, the point that he was making there among the big points, and I'll highlight here, is that we give more honor to them. And I think that's what he's saying here, is that the well-presentable parts have no need of the greater honor, or for us to give that greater honor, because they already entail that. They already have that. So they have no need of that. And this wording is I find really interesting, because it recalls earlier where he was saying, some haughty members, like the head to the feet, were saying, I have no need of you. So it's interesting that he's saying that they don't have need, because it evokes kind of this arrogant attitude that was expressed above, that certain body parts could say to other body parts, I have no need of you. And so now he's saying, these more presentable, or these presentable body parts, they have no need. They have no need of us giving them greater honor, because they have that. So I think that's what's implied. But it's intriguing how he's using the same statement and now kind of turning it against in a sense, those who might have made that statement because of their better, elevated, superior body part positioning. So they have no needs. They have no need of being given greater honor, because I think the implication is they have it. Okay, so the second part of verse 24 reads this way: Allah, O Theos, but, making a correction, and then O Theos, single underline, is subject. And then we have the verb, sun ekeresin to soma. So I single underline the verb, sun ekeresin. It is aorist. There's an augment hidden in there, sun kerasin. It means like to order together or compose. So the preposition soon on there adds this degree of this notion of like composition. And so it brings together. So he kind of brings together the body, composes it. To soma, double underlined, is the direct object. And how is he so composed it? Well, we have what follows, and what follows a subordinate clause that is fueled or being governed by this participle dus. So the remainder part, what follows in this verse, for those listening, is to usterunti perisoteran dus temein. Dus is from didomi. It does not have the false reduplication on the front. So dus, it's a hard participle form to remember, but it is in fact aorist. Aorist active participle, masculine nominative, singular nominative. Yep, masculine singular nominative, dus, giving. So this is a circumstantial participle. It agrees with the subject. It's nominative singular. And what is it doing? Well, it's placed it's placed after the main verb. So it's post-nuclear or post-positioned. And it's likely providing an explanation of here, in this context, of the means by which God, or really elaborating how God has arranged the body. How has he arranged the body? In what way? In what manner? Probably manner. Giving, dus, by giving, and what is he doing? He's giving what? By giving honor, temein, double underline. And then we have to usterunti perisoteran. Perisoteran is accusative going with temein, double underlined. So this is a discontinuous modifier. These when you have like a verb separating the adjective from the noun that it modifies, it's called discontinuous, and usually this is for some kind of effect. And I think the effect here is on temein. Temein is receiving a bit more emphasis by being put last, kind of waiting for it. Its modifier is coming in front of the verbal element in this clause, so that's kind of interesting. So by giving rather more honor, and to whom? Well, to the first part of this clause, to the lesser, the usterunti, to the lesser member, So to the lesser member, giving more honor. Again, this is upside down kingdom kind of thing. God has worked out a plan of composing a body of believers around the Messiah, Jesus, our King, in such a way that we have to get along, and that we value things in a way that is part of our formation as people. We tend to be prideful. We tend to want to have the most honor. We kind of strive for that. We're upward mobile kind of creatures. We're trying to get to the top. Babel talks about that, the story of the Tower of Babel, trying to make a name for ourselves. In different cultural situations, this manifests a certain way. We all want to look alike, perhaps, or we all want to be like the one type of person that is the most honor in our culture. So whatever that might be. So Paul is talking about individual members of the body of Christ in Corinth, and they're struggling with this issue of honor and how to get the most honor, because everyone else is trying to get the most honor in the culture. That culture has seeped into the church and is infecting its relation and body membership assessment. And so Paul is trying to correct them. And that's what the Allah here is doing, Allah. But God has so constructed the body, giving greater honor to the lesser part. Yeah. So the austerity. This is a participle, actually, a substantive participle, to usterunti, usterao, to be lesser. So, yeah, so to the lesser part. Here it's a dative, so dotted underline, because it is the recipients, the indirect object of the rather greater honor. Okay, well, I think that's all I have to say here, and I hope you're learning, as we work through this, learning about the grammar and how to deconstruct or, pull it apart, break it apart, to understand what's going on there. Hope you're finding it helpful, and look forward to having you listen and watch next time. Take care.
Interested in growing your ancient language skills but not sure where to start? Glossa House can help. From illustrated readers and short stories to lexicons and grammars, Glossa House offers a variety of resources for beginning, intermediate, and experienced ancient language learners. Head to glossahouse.com today. Glossa House, language resources for the global community.